April from April's Home, and today I am making my green pea salad, my creamy green pea salad for 4th of July. It is one of the side dishes for our 4th of July barbecue tonight, so I thought I would go ahead and film it real quick so that you can see how I make this classic salad. So first I like to start with frozen peas here. This time I'm making a rather big salad, so I got one big bag here. This is 32 ounces, and then a smaller bag of 16 ounces. You could just do a 32 ounce size if you're just doing it for a regular size family meal, but I like to have leftovers, and I don't know how many people are going to be at the barbecue, so I want to make plenty for everyone. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of do a little bit more than double this recipe. So I like to set my frozen peas out here and let them kind of thaw while I work on prepping all the other ingredients. So you don't want them to thaw out completely because then they start to kind of get mushy. You want the salad to stay nice and cold, but at the same time you don't want to be serving this frozen. So they do have to melt all the way by the time you're serving the salad. I also have a plate of bacon that I have cooked up here, and I'm going to be cutting that up into small pieces to add to the salad. I have one red onion, a block of cheese. I probably won't use this whole entire block. This is a pound of cheese. I'll probably use maybe half to 3/4 of that. I'll kind of take a look at that and judge it as I make it. I have a nice big bowl here. I like to prep my salads in a big bowl so I can really mix it and stir it all together, and then I'll transfer it to a different serving bowl. I have some sour cream and some mayonnaise and salt and pepper and vinegar. I chose to use some of my apple cider vinegar. You can use white vinegar as well. A lot of times when I'm doing a side salad, I like to use the apple cider vinegar. It just gives it a nice flavor. So now I'm going to go ahead and open up these peas, dump them in the bowl, and start prepping my cheese and onions and bacon. I'm going to go ahead and slice them all up into small little dices. I like to have the cheese in nice small little cubes so they don't overwhelm the salad. Same with the onions. I like little small dices, and the bacon can be a little bit bigger. And I'll come back and show you how I've chopped up all 3 of these ingredients here. Okay, so here I have the red onion all chopped up. You can see that I do little teeny tiny dices here that'll come apart, just little teeny tiny dices there so it doesn't overwhelm the salad. So when you're taking a bite, you don't get a giant chunk of onion in there. I like to try to keep it pretty finely chopped. If I come across one too big, I will actually go ahead and chop that up as I'm putting it in the salad. I didn't cut up the whole onion. I left a little bit on the side. This looked like quite a bit already, but I've left this here just in case I need to add more at the end after I add it and see how that tastes. And now I'll go ahead and cube up the cheese. Okay, so I've chopped up all the cheese as well into little cubes. I did probably use about 3/4 of the cheese, maybe even a little bit more, just to make sure that I had plenty. You can see about the size that I do, just a little teeny tiny cube here. Some of them are still stuck together, and I will make sure to break those apart when I mix it in. You can see that I just like to do little tiny cubes and get them all separated so that they get coated with the dressing nicely and mix in with all the peas. So there's all the cheese chopped up, and now I'll go ahead and chop up the bacon. And here's the bacon all cut up into pieces. I do like to leave my bacon just a little bit bigger because it's nice to get some of the big chunks in there with the salad. It looks really pretty. There are some smaller pieces in there as well. And the other thing is I really like to crisp up my bacon very well. I don't like it to get soggy in the salad, so I like it to start out pretty crispy so it kind of holds up well in the salad. So this is about a pack and a half of bacon, all crisped up and chopped up into pieces. So now I'm going to go ahead and get started on the dressing. Okay, so first I've measured a cup of mayonnaise here, and I'm going to go ahead and add it to my little mixing bowl here. And next I'll get a cup of sour cream, and of course you can reduce that if you're making a smaller salad. I'm going to start out with a cup of each. It is a pretty big salad there, and if I need more I can always make up a little bit more. I like to do half mayo and half sour cream. So I'm going to add the cup of mayo to the bowl and then a cup of sour cream. Okay, so I have my 1 cup of mayonnaise and 1 cup of sour cream in the bowl. And now I'm going to add about 3/4 of a tablespoon of my vinegar to this mixture and kind of stir it all together, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay, so I've poured in the vinegar, and now I'm going to incorporate it all together and stir it up here. I love using this little wire whisk to stir up my dressings. It really does seem to incorporate all the ingredients pretty well. This is the little whisk that I use whenever I'm making up any sort of salad dressing type of mixture, like if I'm making coleslaw dressing or any other salad dressing. So here it is with the mayonnaise, apple cider vinegar, and sour cream. And again, I've added 3/4 of a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar because it's such a big batch here. So we'll go ahead and do that now. I'm going to go ahead and add just a little bit of salt and pepper to taste here. So I'm just going to kind of eye it. I don't really measure. Start out with a little bit like that, and then I'll taste it to decide how much more I need to add. And just a few dashes of salt there. Then I'll go ahead and stir that up as well until it's all incorporated. You can see a nice, little nice bits of pepper in there throughout. It'll give it a nice bit of zest. Have it all stirred up. It does look like it needs a little bit more pepper and a little bit more salt here. And I'll go ahead and stir that up here. And I've also set aside a few of my smaller spoons. I love to make sure that I taste that dressing and get the mixture just right. Occasionally it'll need a little bit more salt and pepper or a little bit more apple cider vinegar. Occasionally if it's a little too thick, it'll need to be thinned out with maybe a teaspoon of milk or something like this. This looks pretty nice and thin. I don't think I'll need to thin it out with anything today. So here it is all incorporated. I'm going to go ahead and give that a taste. Use a bunch of clean little spoons there just so I can make sure to keep it clean, get a little tiny bit and taste it. And I think it needs just a dash more pepper there. I'll go ahead and get that all incorporated. The pepper does kind of bloom as it sits, and the flavor will kind of go throughout the sour cream and mayonnaise a little bit more as the salad kind of chills in the fridge. So you don't need to add too much at first, but you do want to make sure there's just enough zest in there. And that tastes just about right. So now I'm going to go ahead and let my peas thaw out just a little bit more. They're still just a little bit too frozen. I'm going to go ahead and clean up some of my area here, put away my ingredients, and I'll come back when these are nice and a little bit closer to thawed out and assemble this salad. Okay, so the peas have been thawing for a little while. They're about half thawed out, I would say. And now I'm going to go ahead and add the cheese, the onion, and the bacon, kind of stir that together, and then I'll add the dressing. So you can see that I've mixed together the cheese, the bacon, the onion, and the peas, and now I'm going to go ahead and pour in about half of my dressing, get that incorporated there, and add the rest as I need it. So here it is all mixed together. I've incorporated all of the creamy dressing into the pea mixture with the cheese, bacon, and onion. And now I'm going to go ahead and get this transferred into one of my serving dishes. Okay, so I've transferred my green pea and bacon salad into my serving dish here. I'm going to go ahead and put saran wrap on this and let this chill and let the flavors kind of blend together. And it'll be in the fridge ready for our barbecue tonight for 4th of July. Also, I've only put out about maybe 2/3 of the mix in the serving bowl, and then I've held back this amount here. That way I can refill my bowl and this will stay cold in the fridge, and that way I'll already have my leftovers in the fridge ready to go. So that is how I make my creamy pea and bacon salad. I hope you enjoyed taking a look at how I made this classic side dish. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe for more videos from April's Home. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.